What President Trump is doing is insane. It is absolutely insane. It is about the 8th reason we've had for the tariffs. And now he's saying he's putting 50% tariffs on Canada unless they agree to become the 51st state.
Trump is using tariffs as a weapon in international trade disputes. U.S. President Trump's tariffs are reshaping U.S. trade policy and overhauling decades of free trade agreements with friend and foe alike, most recently threatening the EU with 200% tariffs. Stick around as we cover where things stand with Trump's tariff threats. A 25% U.S. tariff on imports of steel and aluminum from all countries took effect on Wednesday, March 12th. Trump threatened to raise that tariff to 50% for Canadian imports of the metals, but reconsidered after Canada suspended a new tax on U.S.-bound electricity, and the countries made plans for new trade talks. The EU has responded to those metals duties with counter tariffs on $28 billion in U.S. goods from April, bringing Trump's trade war across the Atlantic. Trump has threatened targeted tariffs on the bloc of European countries, and he vowed to respond to those counter tariffs. Most notably, on Thursday, he threatened a 200% tariff on wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products if the EU did not remove a tariff on imported U.S. whiskey. Trump's 25% across-the-board tariffs on its U.S. neighbors Canada and Mexico went into effect on Tuesday, March 4th. Just 2 days later, Trump confirmed the U.S. would pause tariffs on goods and services compliant with the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement until April 2nd. For its part, Canada retaliated Wednesday to the steel and aluminum tariffs with new duties on about $20 billion of U.S. goods. On China, Trump has enacted new blanket tariffs of around 20%, on top of existing 10% duties that went into place during Trump's first term. China has responded with up to 15% duties on U.S. farm goods such as chicken and pork, which started earlier this week. Trump has also signed a measure that could lead to the implementation of reciprocal tariffs on U.S. trading partners as soon as April 2nd, aiming to fulfill a frequent campaign promise and raise revenue as Republicans ready a tax and spending bill. ECB President Christine Lagarde has warned that a full-on trade war would severely damage economies worldwide, and the U.S. in particular won't be spared. Trump's trade war chaos has caused massive Wall Street volatility. The U.S. dollar exhibited a mixed performance this week against its major counterparts as U.S. President Donald Trump's erratic tariff strategy left investors in a state of uncertainty. As we know, Trump announced a 50% tariff on steel and aluminum imported into the U.S. from Canada, only to backtrack after the Canadian province of Ontario suspended its 25% surcharges on electricity that it sends to some northern states in the U.S. All this uncertainty has led to a marked deterioration in risk appetite, with Wall Street indices tumbling. The U.S. dollar index futures, too, has been caught in the crossfire of Trump's tariff threats and attacks, as investors shifted their focus from inflation concerns to the broader implications for economic growth. Tesla, run by Donald Trump cheerleader Elon Musk, has warned U.S. officials it risks being exposed to disproportionate retaliatory tariffs under the president's escalating trade war. Valdis Dombrovskis, the EU Commissioner for Trade, held an introductory call with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, in which he expressed concern over U.S. tariffs and their negative economic impact on both sides. He stated that if the U.S. were to impose a 200% tariff on alcohol imports from the EU, a previously untariffed $15 bottle of Italian Prosecco could possibly increase in price to $45. Similarly, Europe's response to Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs means that the cost of a $30 bottle of bourbon in Paris could increase to $45. What do you think? Is Trump getting out of control with these tariffs? When will he stop? Comment your thoughts down below and subscribe for all the latest Trump news.